going to day 5. It's a nice wrap up for this week, and most of you joined today. Thank you for joining for the whole week, and people who are catching up with recording. Hope the session will be useful for you to work on your own as well. So the theme for first week is you need to go above the problem state to solve the problem. So what we are trying to focus on here is what are some of the reactive tactical things that we could do to help ourselves. Very first thing is sometime we might be going into our own zone of thinking about some things. To cut that in, asking intervention questions like, what am I thinking right now? Immediately stops what you're thinking. And it helps you like, okay, you know what, I just need to get on with something. Or if you allow it, you will be thinking, overthinking, and you'll be just going on. And that's what we tried about. Please do use it, because this thinking about your own is what we covered the whole of the week, is asking ourselves why this is happening. Why? Well, the moment you ask why, it stops. If you don't ask that why, then it continues and it starts to add pressure to you. The second one, instead, the other way of looking into that is just to have what we call the transformation anger or conscious attention. So it's like, okay, I'm working on something at the moment, and I got distracted. Okay, fine. So I'm going to use all these tactical things. But before even you use those things, you need to own your attention. Don't let others to take it. If you visualize it as a property and use it as it's the most important asset that you'll ever have in your life, how would you treat your attention? And that's a psychological mind shift, which I shared on day 2. And over the course of your day, we just looked, okay, what's distracting me? Why am I allowing it to distract me? And, where is my attention lapse? Where is my attention working on, etc. So again, the more why questions takes us forward. Again, that's the second one. Starting with questioning our thinking, we are starting to question our attention. Third one is bother. This is even wider, because anything can bother you. And, that bothering part is pretty challenging, which you never have plans, but suddenly something else falls on you and it starts to bother you. So it's always important when something is bothering you, ask yourself, if this doesn't bother me, what would I be doing? If this don't bother me, what would I be doing? Again, it's the same thing that you can use to any of your friends who have problems. Who just say, okay, fine, I know you are in problem, but if this problem gets solved, what will you do? Or bothering is not going to solve you, so we just need to take some actions to solve your bothering. What can we do? So it helps you to visualize your course of action and you complete the action, which means your bothering changes. Again, we discussed what was bothering you last week, last month, last year, yesterday is different to what's bothering today, which means it's something just like a cloud that passes you. So just be very aware of what's in your mind, what am I thinking, what's in my attention, where am I distracting? Third one is my bothers, right? So next one is procrastinations. Again, when we start to do things like what you're currently doing, you would straight away see there is a inertia or there is some sort of obstacle that you'll be facing, because why am I asking questions? Can't I accept I am distracted, I'm like this, I'm not productive, it's all fine? That's the first thing you're going to do. Yes, telling the truth that you are procrastinating. We all can't be 100% productive all the time. It's all fine. I'm going to use a Pomodoro timer, 20 minutes, take a break 5 minutes, take a break 20 minutes, work 5 minutes. It's theory, it's fine, but at the end of the day, we're all a human. So first accept, I'm not perfect. I do procrastinate. That's the main thing. Try not to be like, yeah, I'm X, Y, Z, but telling the truth as to why you are procrastinating. And that's an important thing, which means the only reason is a positive spin, because procrastination aligns to ambition and it aligns to a goal. And it's part of a growth process, which means the reason you're procrastinating, we touched yesterday, it falls into 4 parts. Because 1, you lack confidence. Number 2, you lack capability. And number 3, you also have issues with time, you lack time. And finally, it's not just your capability, you just need to ask for external help. When you don't understand or when you don't appreciate, you are moving one step forward from where you are, you tend to think that you are not doing well. It's not a negative feeling, it's a positive feeling. That's what we are doing. This whole thing that you are doing, as we talked about yesterday, people who have set goals and they don't achieve goals is because it's taking them to an unknown place. We discussed yesterday about how it helps us to go from no zone into growth zone. So these are the four things today, and box breathing is there for you. Today, we are going to build up to something called scorecarding. Yes, we are going to scorecard our mind. This is the base. And before we do that, I know some of you are facing challenges as we speak. I'm facing multitude of challenges myself, problems, bothers, as you can imagine. But what we don't do is to capture what's a good experience and what's a bad experience. What do I mean by that? For example, if you're working in a company with the line manager, with a company, you might say, oh, culture and values, but you might have some good experience within your company, right? And then you have a bad experience within a company. Have you ever written in a piece of paper, what does it mean for you? What does it mean for you? Which means if you try to differentiate what a good experiences mean for you and what a bad, it's the same thing with relationship as well, right? Have you ever shared that to somebody, right? So very first thing, the activity that we are going to go for is to open our manual or a book or a piece of paper, and we are going to write down your own experience, which means I just want you to write 3 best experience. For now, let's just keep it professional, but you can also apply that to anything. You can also keep it personal. You could also have it with your children. You could have it with your partner. You could have it with your pet. You could have it with your parents, anybody. What's the best experience with, you can decide, you can pick up anything. It could, if you are, I know you all are employees, but if you are a freelancer, then you can think about your clients. What's the best experience? Pick up a person or pick up a company or a career and then say, where have you got 3 best experience and where have you got 3 worst experience? Just want you to be brutally, make that in a column. 1 is best, 1 is worst. And let's spend a couple of minutes on this because this is going to be super important for us. So just leave it there to do this activity, at least 3 examples. Focus more on the best experience because our mind tend to go for bad experiences quickly. But try to grasp the good experiences and give it as much emphasis as the bad experience. Three best experiences, 3 bad experiences. Pick up your own theme. It's a company, it's a client, it's a relationship, anything, but just fix that and then write the 3 best experience, 3 bad experience. If you've completed, add in the chat that you've completed. This is not an easy exercise. check why. Why was it your worst experience? Why was it's your best experience? That will give you certain attributes that you might expect for best experience and worst experience. That's what we are trying to get here. There is a commonality, there is a pattern that this should be the certain elements that needs to be ticked for you to have best experience. These are some of the no-goes for you to avoid the worst experience or the bad experience. So list down your best and worst experience and ask yourself, why was it best? Why was it worst? Please do complete it. Let me know when you're completed. Try not to do 3 best, go random, 3 best, fix, as I mentioned, it's a client, a company, or a person, and then work for it. Right. That's good. So what we have done just now is we are starting to build from where we left, and we are looking into, okay, what is a best experience and what's a good experience? So we are listing with a person or a company or a client, and then say, these are all the best experiences I had, and these are all the worst experiences I had. And once we have listed 3, then we are adding the why. Why was it best and why was it worst, right? Now, why this is important, as I already mentioned, is it's very, 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 very critical for you to know exactly what you like and what you dislike. There's no point trying to do things that you don't like or trying to put yourself in an environment that you don't enjoy and then complain that I'm stressed, I'm frustrated, my mental health is bad, all these things, right? You have total control. So sometimes we don't have a choice, but why can't we help ourselves, right? So what we are trying to do here is I'll be introducing what we call a mindset scorecard. Mindset scorecard, right? Because now you understood the difference between what gave you best experience and what gave you the worst experience. A, it gives you a sense of freedom, right? It tells you why the best was the best. Why the best was the best. When you're going for interviews with somebody, you know exactly what the best looks like. So you can carve out your questions around the best experience and ask them questions. Hey, do you have this? Do you have that? Do you have this? What do you think about this? So you know clearly you're testing yourself so that the environment is right for you even before you go. You can ask them in a relationship. You can ask them with a client. You know, if you're working with a colleague, just work because you know this is the best experience. This is what people can work with you to get the best. So what you're trying to do here is being the authority on your experience. So I'm going to introduce in the chat, I will be sharing a document. And I want you to download this, then work on this. Right. It's in the chat. Unfortunate, people who didn't join the live session will not get it, because people who joined, you get it. Please do download this and save it. This, what you have in front of you, please do download it, save it. And I'm going to share the screen. Let me know whether you have downloaded it. Yep. So this is what we have. So this is the scorecard that I've created. This is the scorecard that if you know what the best looks like and what the worst looks like, you can start to just focus on your best and you can just add things like this. But anyway, leaving that aside, I just want you to score yourself on this. So I just want you to write your name, put today's date, which is going to be now, and I just want you to do here. So anything on this. So this is based on my experiences. Ideally, it could also be based, you can create your own scorecard, but at least it's there for you, right? So point number one talks about few elements, 1, 2, 3. I'll leave that to read for yourself. So this is the template, and I would just want you to take 5 minutes, so 3 minutes, because then we'll be running out of time for meditation, but that's okay. We'll do it in the last 2, 3 minutes. I just want you to score. If you think you don't understand how other people who aren't as smart as you are jumping ahead in their career or business results, if you really don't understand why they're successful, why they're doing that, you're going to score yourself somewhere between 1, 2, or 3. It's totally up to you. You can score 3, you can score 2. 1 meaning I'm clueless. 2, 3 means that's what in my mind, but I really don't know. You have big goals, but there is something you feel you are missing that keeps you from making the necessary breakthroughs. Most probably that's where you will be. And then you just go. For each of those things, okay. Let me share the document again. Can someone in the meantime also help Parvati with that? But I've just downloaded it. If you can send a chat to Parvati as well, that will be good. So primarily, I just want you to score yourself here. For mindset, best worst starting point, quantifying experience, scorecards is this. Once you have given the score between 1 to 12, you won't get anything 10, 11, 12, because that's all about scorecarding. Because you have just started the scorecard process. Now you'll be somewhere between 1 to 9 here. Give the score today, and we will be doing that on the 18th day, on the last Friday, 4th Friday, which means it comes in 4 weeks on score next. So you will be gradually seeing your progress here. So I just want you to have a go on this. Now the time is 21. Take time until 25. And I just want you to have a go on this and complete this. Put a score here and total your score and drop it here. You can edit this. This is an editable PDF. Have a go. Leave 10, 11, 12 at the moment. Just go from 1 all the way to 9. Ideally, you should have your own scorecard based on this, but that's fine. Let's just go with what we have at the moment. And let me know when you complete. If you have challenges in downloading the document, then you can do this exercise offline. I'll email you. Anybody else who are having challenges? Deepa Parvati, I've just emailed you. Do this offline and then have your score. Uh, So once you have completed, let me know. Anybody else who have challenges in downloading? Let me know if you've completed. This is just your initial starting point. I've emailed you, Nishant. What we are trying to get here is we need to be very conscious of what gives us best experiences and what gives us worst experiences. It's not humanly practical to do everything. But once you know what's really important for you, maybe your relationship, maybe your line manager, maybe your children, if your work, your profession, then it's better to have what's best and what's worst and have that handy so that you can avoid yourself from getting into the negative trap. But even more better is to create a scorecard and then work accordingly. So that's what we have done. And let me know whether you have completed, because this is an optimal one that I've created. So if you use it as a starting point, this will be good. Put your score in, total it, and have it ready. You don't need to share it with anybody. Ideally, when we do a full-fledged coaching session, this is also a 90-minute exercise. We'll be building it up Monday, but for now, this is where we stand. So have you completed the scorecard? Anyone? Because it's based on client, entrepreneur, could be slightly odd. But again, just a sample. It's better to start low so that you could grow. If you score yourself very high now, there might be very less opportunity to grow. So work through and let me know when you're completed. You can do this offline as well. So we have 2 minutes, and let me quickly share through the final pointers for this one. But what normally happens is, because it's editable, you can always change. So this is what I would like to land in. There are 8 mindsets that I've listed here. These are the 8 mindsets of people that I would like to work with, as well as a range of mindsets that you have seen. So statement in the 4th column is the optimum mindset that we all need to work through, which means we make a conscious decision of who do we want to spend time with, what ticks for us, etc. As much as we can. So those who grade themselves in column 1, you tend to feel sorry for yourself. They're given their power and control away to someone else and see themselves mostly as victims. Right? This is where we very, very quickly need to pull you out from. So ideally, you are not there because you should be in column 2, at least, because you're woken up to a bigger possibility. That's the reason you are here with us, here with me, here doing this, other than the hundreds of people who register and didn't turn up, right? Because you know that there is a gap, but because you don't measure against it and you don't know how to help yourself, you're just here. So, that's the second bucket. If you score yourself between 4 to 6, that's where you are. Third one is, some way or the other, you made it up, you made it, but you really don't know what's next. You really don't know what I could do more. And that's your column 3. The final 4 is pretty much you're absolutely sure. This is what I want. This is how much money I want to make. This is the type of friends I want to be with. This is the type of clients I want to work with. This is the holidays I'm going to spend time with. This is my travel, my children, everything sorted. Absolutely. So it's a journey. So it's much easier to start with the goals and plans and stuff, and then you get stuck in between. So what the scorecard gives you is, okay, I'm stuck, which is step 1. 2, I need to come out of this, but I'm here. I need help. Third one is, I made it to what I can, but I don't know what's next. And the 4th one is this, right? I think if you score yourself accordingly, that just gives you this. Again, don't be, oh my God, I'm in point 2. Oh my God, in certain sections, I'm in point 1. I'm in point 1 myself in certain parts. Sometimes it's a swing. You might be in point 4, but 6 months down the line, you will come to point 1. It's because when you continually measure yourself, obviously you're not the same person. So that's the high level point. So we ran out of time. Would you like me to play a meditation tune, or would you like to close it with this action to take it home? And then I'll send you the link and we could have Q&A in another session. Let me know your thoughts. Have a quick 5-minute meditation before we go to Q&A, or we close the session with this action. That's be the authority of your own experience. That's what we covered today. For that to happen, you need to know what you really like and what you dislike, which is your best experience and then the worst experience. And if you consciously document why this is best experience and why this is worst experience, you could avoid getting yourself from this. Over the weekend, take your time to just think about these 5 things that you learn and try to consciously try to use this. That's how we are going to build it up. And especially in this one, try to create your own scorecard, or at least characteristics of what good looks like for 3 or 4 different themes that's important for you in your life. And that's where we end day 5 today with what we call a mindset scorecard, or a mindset expander, because you start with this, you have a starting point, and we'll just go from there. And that's the end of day 5. So apologies, we had to skip the mindfulness meditation today. But if anybody is available, we can have a Q&A right here, which is in this one. If you are, I just want you to join here so that we could have a conversation from day 5. It's a chat here, and that's the end of day 5. Thank you for joining, and hopefully I will see you in that link, so we can talk through this program, and we can also work through, if you have any doubts, we can have a conversation around it. Otherwise, I'll see you Monday And we'll continue this mindset expander, and we're just going to work on the why, and we're going to create something unique for you so that you can start to use it as a blueprint for success. So that's it. Until then, if I see you, I'll see you at the next one. Otherwise, I will see you Monday. Thank you for joining, and have a good weekend, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.